And I think you mentioned that this is your 15th Lions.
Yes, it is.
We're delighted to have you.
Yeah, we nailed it.
We nailed it.
There's the fist bump.
Yeah.
That's right.
How do you think about the interplay of technology and creativity?
Yeah, well, and obviously our main product is an e-commerce experience, right? And one of my main jobs is driving traffic, but how that shopping experience has changed and been optimized is incredible. But then also just how we use technology to make the things we make and to learn what we learn. But I think one of the things I really love about working at Amazon too is we're a big believer in data, we're a big believer in technology, but we always really will stop and pause for the human anecdote. There can be one human anecdote, one story, and it's worth listening to, it's worth examining.
How are you viewing AI as part of your business as usual operations?
Yeah, well, I think, it's gone from being a tool that you might give work that you don't want to do or work that's mundane to really thinking about how this is a constant teammate and partner. And you should be thinking, how can I make my job better? How can I make my team work better? And how will AI help us do that?
So this is the 10th year of our CMO program.
Amazing.
And we've done a little bit of research to understand, how has the role changed? And one of the things that's really popped is that more than ever, CMOs are being looked at as growth drivers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And it's never been harder, probably, to have that mandate. Do you agree with that? And sort of second part of the question, if you do, how do you think about that on a global level when it's just driving growth in one part of the world is so different than driving growth in another?
Yeah, no, I 100%. I love this question. So take the first part. Absolutely. I mean, it is an investment to drive growth in the business, to drive growth in the brand. And I think a lot of what we have to do as marketers, and I consider myself more of a brand marketer, is to really try to own the science and the measurement and the commercial value of that long-term brand marketing, which is super hard to do, because it builds over time, it builds memory structure over time. But particularly as we move into an era where you want your brand to be the first thing people think of, that's the job of brand marketing, that's the job of brand advertising. And then I think, to the global question, in the US, we're a first mover. We've been here a long time, but then there are countries where we have bigger competitors, where e-commerce is maybe not as endemic. And then you have countries like India, which is 1 billion people, incredibly mobile, growing so fast. So there we look at it as really as a balance of the core principles of what Amazon stands for. And in my case, it's really about that pattern recognition. Is the brand consistent? Are we showing up consistently? But then it's really the local teams who understand the customers, the competition. And there, that listening I was talking about, being humble about, I can only ever know my own lived experience. My team can only know we're always going to have a North American bias. And so how do we really listen and learn about how those stories should be told locally to engage our customers there?
If I asked you to describe marketing today in 1 to 3 words, how would you describe it?
Creativity is still hard. I read all these things about, wow, with AI, we're going to have to make our ads more creative. And I was like, when did we not?
Right.
When did we not?